Hey guys, how's it going? DJ2 here, and welcome back to Fortnite Save the World, and welcome to this week's must-have video, which is all about Miss Parasaur Jess, our brand new Dino hero. And the question is she a must-have? We're going to answer this question by answering three other questions. These three questions are going to be, number one, does she work the way she's supposed to? We know that we've had a lot of problems lately with some heroes not working the way they're supposed to when they first are released. Number two question is she the new meta? Is she coming to replace our current healer meta must-have, who is Survivalist Jonesy? And number three, which is more of a personal question, how am I going to use her? What is going to be my hero loadouts? Where is she going to fit in my hero loadouts? So let's jump in, guys. Let's talk all about this. Let's answer those three questions. But first, thank you very much for watching, guys. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for using my creator code DUJ2 if you're using it to buy something in the shop over in Battle Royale, or if you're buying some llamas here in Save the World. If you're spending V-Bucks, or if you're buying a game over in the Epic Store site, don't forget that the summer sale is going on right now. Some pretty good offers over there. So if you use my creator code or my creator tag DUJ2, it's called the tag over in the store, it helps me out so very much. Thank you very much, guys. Of course, hashtag epic partner. So let's start, guys. Let's go ahead and start by answering the first question. And the first question is, does she work the way she does? And so far, yes, 100% yes. I've tried her in multiple different setups, multiple different heroes. Look at that hat. The tiny little backpack. I've tried her out in a bunch of her color combinations. Amazing. I've tried her in a bunch of different setups, and every single time she's worked the way she does. She's supposed to. What does she do? She has Saurian Instinct. Abilities heal for 7.2% of max health when used, and if you use her in a commander, it is a whopping 21.5% of max health when used. That is huge, guys. Actually, that should be 21.6, but you know, who's counting? So 21.5% of max health used. That is gigantic. And if we use her like this, which this is the setup that I tried to use her. I put her in Parasaur Jess, her at commander with Blast from the Past, of course, Saurian Focus, Saurian Fight, Space Technology, Capacitor, and possibly Matrix. I decided to make her a Shock Tower hero for damage. Now, is she worth it? Is she good? She's okay. If you're using as her commander hero, she's okay. But here, that 21%, it's 21 or 25%? Yeah, 21%. 21% of 21.5%, sorry, of 878,816, you guys do the math, is a chunk of health. So every single time that you use her ability, boom, she's going to give you, it's huge. It's just gigantic. I absolutely have to say, having almost a fourth of her health brought back every single time you use an ability, every single time I use Seismic Smash, Phase Shift, or I throw a Shock Tower down, it is actually very, very good. She lasts a long time. How am I using her here? If I have to be in constant danger, if I have to be in the storm for a long period of time or something like that, she is working wonderfully. But here is the great part about her. Here's the part that just kind of elevates her into a must-have category. And that is the fact that this right here, it doesn't matter if you have Blast from the Past. She will work for you in any setup as long as she's activated, as long as you have an ability that you're using. As long as you're using an ability, she is going to trigger. If you have her in support, she's going to give you 7.2% of your max health. Now, of course, if you're using Blast from the Past, you're going to get a chunk more. You're going to get a ton more health back than you would normally. Like, let's say, for example, here, I'm going to show you this setup in a bit, my Gold Knock setup. So he only has 450,000 health. So the amount that he's going to get back is going to be way less because it's also 7.2% in the support slot. But regardless, you don't have to have Blast from the Past to use it. So then, that's the first question answered. Yes, she works great, and that's how she works. The second question that we have is she going to replace Survivalist Jonesy? And the answer to that is no. She is not the new meta. She is a new fun meta, and she is the new meta for a lot of different setups, but not for every setup. Whereas Survivalist Jonesy is someone that I would recommend in every single setup, every single time, no matter what, because he is going to come and do some ridiculous healing, because every single time that you eliminate someone, you're going to get that 30 base health back for 3 seconds. So every single elimination, chunk, is going to give you back the health. So what does that mean? Well, that means that Parasaur Jess is going to come to be a great new healer if you have a ability based setup. By that I mean something like, let's go with Commando Spitfire. If you have a setup where you're going to be using abilities constantly using abilities. Now the problem with Commando Spitfire is that he is based on going commando. Now what does that mean? It means that you are going to have going commando going for a long period of time, but you're going to be able to replenish it every single time. Now this is where I've kind of gone back and forth on this thing. With going commando, I've used her, as you guys see, she's there right now. And I haven't. Why? Because every single time that I trigger going commando, I get that chunk of health back. But the entire time that I am in going commando, I'm not getting any health back. I'm not getting any health back for any of those kills. But because once going commando is done, 5 seconds later, I can trigger it again, I can get that health back. I've tried them both. I gotta tell you, I've tried both setups back and forth, and I don't really know which one of these I prefer. I probably will end up going back to Survivalist Jonesy because I get a lot more kills. As long as I am making sure that I'm not getting overrun by the enemy, then the Parasaur Jess setup works perfectly fine. But, and this is the crazy thing, if I am going to need health and I'm going to be taking down a lot of enemies, I gotta say Survivalist is better. So that's where you have to weigh it. Are you killing a lot of enemies? If you're killing a lot of enemies, then I highly recommend going with Survivalist. But if you have quick, very fast, revolving abilities, then Parasaur Jess would be the best thing to do. Which, let's move into the last question. How am I going to use her? So again, for the second question, no, she is not coming to replace Jonesy. She is definitely really great if you use her in specific setups, specifically passive setups. If you have farming setups, we're going to show that in a second. Farming setups are amazing for her. And also, like I said, if you have a setup where you're going to be running an ability that you can spam, an ability. There's a couple here. I don't have the other two right now, but if you have the Dragon Slash setup, and the Overtaker Hero setup. So there are two setups right there that you can constantly be spamming nonstop. Let me show you which ones they are real quick. So right over here, we're going to go look for, where is he? There, Overtaker Hero. So Overtaker Hero has a very interesting ability where it's Kunai Collection plus Kunai Storm eliminations decrease Kunai Storm cooldown by 4.5 seconds. If you use this setup correctly, you can be constantly spamming the Kunai Storm over and over. And every single time you use an ability, what's going to happen? Boom. You're going to be able to get it every single time. So Kunai Storm, Dragon Slash, and Smoke Bomb, every single time, you're going to get the health back. If you're able to do it over and over again, you're going to be getting a lot of health back. And the other one is going to be Dragon Scorch. Dragon Scorch has the Wings of the Dragon. So if you use him and you use the ability where you are able to, recoup that constantly, you're going to be getting a lot of health back. So that's the thing. If you have abilities that you're going to be using constantly, that's a great thing. And if you can also use Blast from the Past, even better. Now, really quickly, I'm going to show you. I'm not going to be using her in my Pale setup. I tried, and the problem with the Pale setup is Pale, my Immortal Luna, is designed to be constantly killing. I don't really use or depend on the abilities that much. I'm just swinging away with my Masamune. So because of that, I prefer Survivalist Jonesy on there. Equally with my Raven setup, my new setup. I love this setup. My lefty and righty setup, even if when we put Noir in there in the main commander setup, Sorry, in the main commander slot. In this setup, we're not going to be spamming abilities very fast. So I'm sticking with Survivalist Jonesy. We'll talk in a second. Gadgeteer is actually one that I'm really enjoying here right now. Gadgeteer is not one that I'm going to say is great for this. Yes, I am spamming abilities a little bit, but I've been using Gadgeteer for Ventures, Gadgeteer, and Parasaur Jess. Both of these setups work okay. Now, in this case, I definitely need to get what's his name? I definitely need to get Fragment Generation in there to make it work really well. But right now, it's, you know, it's one of those things where I'm still sticking with Undercover Buzz. And to be honest, I'm probably going to move Survivalist out of here, and I'm going to put in Parasaur Jess in here because she will do a little better for me. Now, the big one, the big setup where I'm really using her is going to be my Gold Knock setup. Why is that? Because Bull Rush. If you guys know, with this setup, the Long Rush, Rushed, and Happy Holidays, this setup right here, I can spam Bull Rush constantly. Every single time I spam it, boom, I'm getting 7.2%. 7.2% of my max health back over and over again. Is it still better to use Jonesy? Well, if you have a lot of enemies coming your way, you do want that constant healing. So I gotta say that, yeah, Jonesy for those combat situations is probably going to be a better bet. But in this setup, I haven't done bad because I'm just constantly using Bull Rush. Even if I need to get away from groups of enemies, I'm just constantly using it, and every single time I use it, boom, I get myself back my health. So that's going to be the best. But I'm going to show you guys right now the last thing. So those are the setups that I'm currently using. We're going to go into a mission really fast right now. And I'm going to show you guys one more thing, which I'll be the first to admit, I did not think was going to be the case. When we heard about Parasaur Jess, she seemed like she was going to be absolutely amazing, and she is. I'm not denying the fact that she's not amazing. She's just not here to... She's not taking over. She's not taking over. She's not replacing Jonesy for me, just because of the fact that this game is designed for fighting. Now, you do have some missions, let's say resupply missions, or if you're doing a resupply mission, or if you're doing a radar grid mission, missions like that are kind of passive, that are not going to be, you know, we're not going to be constantly fighting in. Missions like that, yes, I will 100% admit, it is totally better to use, you know, you're to use her. Parasaur Jess is great, and you can also use her in those missions, like I said, especially like resourcing or something like that. If you have to spend a lot of time inside of the storm, having that is just amazing. Every time you use an ability, boom, you're gonna get back you're pretty much a fifth of your health, and it's amazing. It's amazing. You can survive in the storm forever with Parasaur Jess as your main commander, and even sometimes with her not as your main commander. But if there is any situation where you have to go and fight, let's see, we're gonna go find a place to get hurt. If you are in any situation where you're gonna have to, you know, where you're gonna have to fight, I gotta tell you, it's not gonna be the best. She is not. Ooh, there we go. All right, we got hurt now. we're nice and hurt now. Let me go ahead and do this real fast. Ooh, no, that's not what I want to do. There we go. So we're nice and hurt now. You guys see how hurt I am now? Let me go ahead and do this. Do I have Parasaur Jess on me? Yeah, I do. So, this is, like I said, this is the one thing where I was, not that I was doubtful, but, oh, why is it not working? Okay, so... there it is. See? Look at that. Every single time that I use, it's amazing. It's amazing. If you guys check under me right here, look at that. Every single time that I use my what's it called? Every single time that I use my face forward, boom, health. Boom, health. It's amazing. Now, this is one thing where I will say this, and I was kind of hoping that this would be a different case. I was really hoping that every single time that we used our heavy attack, we were going to be able to get the health back. Unfortunately, that's not the case. But For farming, I am loving her so very much, just because I can go ahead and farm, and then if I need to, I can just use a couple of these, and boom, I'm back in business. Especially with the amount of health of energy we're going to be getting back, it's absolutely incredible. Yeah, I'm very, 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 very happy with this setup. I think it is amazing. I really wish though that you were able to get back the heavy ability, the farming ability would give you back the health as well. We were hoping, guys, you know that we were hoping it was going to be the case, but even if it's not, it's okay. Now, if you guys see here, charge fragments don't work though, so charge fragments are going to be like the exception to the rule. But apart from that, every single ability that you use, boom, 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 health back. I love it. For my farming setup, she is absolutely amazing, because in my farming setups, I'm not really looking to kill. If you guys see, whenever I farm, I rarely ever take out any enemies. I rarely kill any enemies, and if I do, it's just to give me a little bit of peace. I'm going to be spending most of my time farming and traveling around the map, and with the setup, it is amazing, because like right there, I'm back to full health again. So there you guys go. I'm really excited for this, for Parasaur Jess. She is really awesome. She is really awesome. She is a really great ability hero. And even though she hasn't come to change the meta, even if she hasn't really come to completely replace Survivalist Jonesy, she's still great. She's still great. I recommend, if you want to try this setup right here, it's an okay damage setup. Actually, it doesn't have a Teddy, which kind of stinks a little bit, but this is actually not a bad damage setup. It actually does really good with the with shock tower. Of course, like I said, remember, fragments are not going to be giving you that back. You definitely need to be using your abilities, so you're going to be focusing more on using phase shift and seismic smash, but it definitely will be really great. So I'm gonna leave it there, guys. Thank you very much for watching, guys. As always, I am DUJ2. If you guys enjoy this video, if you enjoy what I do on my channel, please do me a huge favor and have yourself a fantastic day. Parasaur Jess, she's a must-have. She's a must-have, but I still gotta say, guys, at the end of the day, he's still king. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.